Hello everyone. Hi. I hope you are doing very well. So after a long time, after a long gap, we meet again. So I welcome you all to my live session tonight. Tonight I am going to talk about a theory of language acquisition, that is cognitive theory of language acquisition. So this theory is very important, and the students of ELT and linguistics will find this live session quite handy and useful for them. And I welcome you all to join the live session as early as possible. And the topic is cognitive theory of language acquisition. This theory, cognitive theory of language acquisition, was invented by Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget. He was from Switzerland. That means he is a Swiss. So Jean Piaget, he invented cognitive theory of language acquisition. Cognitive theory is very popular, and this theory of language acquisition has got some levels. I would like to talk about those levels first. Number one, we have to know schema. Number two, adaptation processes. And number three, stages of cognitive development. I repeat, schema, adaptation processes, and number three, last but not the least, stages of cognitive development. These are the three main points of discussion for cognitive theory of language acquisition. So first of all, let us begin with the first point of this theory, that is schema. First of all, we have to know what schema is all about. Well, schema is actually the building block of knowledge or unit of knowledge. Just like a building is made of numerous numbers of blocks, our body is made of numerous numbers of cells. So unit of our body is known as cell, and unit of knowledge is known as schema. I repeat, schema is the unit of knowledge or the building block of knowledge. Smallest unit of knowledge is known as schema. And let me explain schema in detail. Suppose you are going to have some food in a restaurant. So if we actually talk about ordering food in a restaurant, the knowledge, if we divide into smallest units, then we will get some small units like you have to first see the menu, seeing the menu, then you have to order the food, then you have to eat it, and then last but not the least, you have to pay the bill. So this is how you have to go to a restaurant and order some food and eat it and pay the bill. This is how it works. So the building block of knowledge or unit of knowledge is known as schema. Suppose someone knows the mathematical calculation of addition, but he doesn't know multiplication. So the sum of 10 twos, if I give him the sum of 10 twos, the person who knows addition but doesn't have any idea of multiplication, he will add 2 10 times. But if somebody knows multiplication, he will actually use the schema of multiplication, and thereby he will get the result. 2 into 10 is equal to 20. But if he doesn't know multiplication, that means he doesn't have the schema of multiplication. He has the schema of addition only. Then he will add 2 10 times. In case of the sum of 10 twos, he will add 2 10 times. So this is how schema works. Schema is the unit of knowledge. As I have already explained, going to a restaurant and having food, if I divide the knowledge, I will get some schema over there. And the number one schema is seeing the menu, ordering the food, eating it, and then last but not the least, paying the bill. So the first knowledge that a child actually acquires is sucking, because first of all it sucks the nipple of its mother, and thereby it actually gets milk from it. So sucking schema, the first knowledge that a child actually acquires is sucking schema. The first schema that develops inside his brain is sucking schema. So whenever a child gets something, it always tries to put it inside mouth and tries to sip it or suck it. That is the first knowledge that a child acquires, that is known as sucking schema. Then he develops the grabbing schema, that means grabbing something. If you put your finger in a child's hand, little child's hand, it will try to grab it. So the first knowledge or schema that a child actually acquires is sucking schema. Then it develops the grabbing schema. So schema actually gradually develops inside a child when it gradually grows up. A lot of schemas are inserted inside a child's mind. It gathers a lot of schemas from the surroundings. So schema, I hope you understand, is the building block of knowledge or unit of knowledge. In case of language also, a child acquires numerous numbers of schemas of language, and thereby it acquires its mother language. So I hope now you understand what schema is all about. Now let us talk about adaptation processes. What is actually adaptation processes? Well, adaptation processes are of three types. Number one is equilibrium, number two is disequilibrium, and number three is accommodation. So what is equilibrium? If an existing schema of a child matches with the external situation, then equilibrium will prevail. I repeat, if the existing schema of a child matches with the external situation, then equilibrium will prevail. But if it doesn't match with the external situation, then there will be disequilibrium. The child has to adapt to the new situation. I am giving you an example. Suppose a child saw a bald-headed man, but first of all, it doesn't have any idea what bald-headed man is all about, because it has already seen that all the people has got hair on over their head. So when a child finds for the first time a bald-headed man who doesn't have any hair over his head, it actually shouts like clown, clown, because the child has found clown on TV screen by watching circus or cartoons. So it starts shouting like clown, but that person is not a clown. He actually is bald-headed. As the bald-headed person has got similarity or resemblance with a clown of a circus, and that's why the child starts shouting clown, clown. That means his existing schema doesn't match with the external situation. Then what it has to do? It has to accommodate. That means the new idea has to be rearranged, because first of all he came to know about the clown of a circus, but later on when he found a similar person with the same appearance but who actually in reality is not a clown, the child misunderstands that person as a clown of a circus, but that person is not actually a clown. He is a bald-headed man. He has to rearrange the information. That means he has to accommodate, because his existing schema doesn't match with the external situation. That means there is disequilibrium. But if the existing schema matches with the external situation, there will be equilibrium and there is no need for accommodation. But if the existing schema doesn't match with the external situation, then there will be disequilibrium. The child has to accommodate the new idea. He has to rearrange or reorganize the new information accordingly. And that is what equilibrium and disequilibrium is all about. If the existing schema, that means the knowledge that he already has inside its mind, matches with the external situation, then there will be equilibrium. And if the existing knowledge or existing schema doesn't match with the external situation, there will be disequilibrium, and the child has to accommodate the new information accordingly. I hope you understand. So this is how equilibrium, disequilibrium, and accommodation work in case of cognitive theory. And if I talk about the sum of 10 twos again, because if a person knows the sum of 10 twos, I mean if he knows addition, then he will add 2 10 times. But if he knows multiplication, he will just use the multiplication, the theory of multiplication, or the calculation of multiplication. He doesn't need to add 2 10 times because he knows multiplication. So this is how schema works actually. The more schema, the tuning, the more perfect the tuning will be. So the more knowledge, the more perfect the tuning will be. That means the more perfect the performance will be. So the more schema is inserted inside your mind, the more perfect you become. So this is how it works in case of language also. The more schema is inserted or information is inserted inside your mind, the more perfect your expression will be. So as I was saying, so this is what adaptation processes actually works in case of cognitive theory. Now let us talk about the main point of discussion of cognitive theory, that is the stages of development. Stages of development, the last part of this theory. This theory has got 3 parts. I have already mentioned those: schema, adaptation processes. These 2 I have already discussed. Now I am going to discuss about the last part of cognitive theory, that is the stages of development. Stages of cognitive development. So how actually child develops ideas inside its mind? There are some stages. Jean Piaget actually has given 4 stages of cognitive development. Number 1 stage, sensory motor stage, and this stage actually prevails from birth to 2 years. That means from 0 to 2 years. Up to 2 years this stage actually prevails, and during this sensory motor stage, the child gathers information or by perceiving everything through its senses. I repeat, during the sensory motor stage, a child gathers information by perceiving everything through the 5 senses that it has. That means a child cannot perceive anything beyond the 5 senses. What are the 5 senses? We all know: sight, smelling, touching, tasting, hearing. So these are the senses that we have. So a child cannot perceive anything beyond the 5 senses. It actually starts using 5 senses to perceive everything. That means child cannot perceive abstract ideas during this stage. It only uses the 5 senses to perceive each and every object or entity. So this is what happens during the sensory motor stage. Now the next stage prevails from 2 to 7 years. The name of the stage is pre-operational stage. I repeat, pre-operational stage is the second stage of cognitive development. And during this stage, what happens? This stage I have already mentioned spans from 2 years to 7 years. So during these years, a child actually tries to use symbols to represent objects during this stage, during the pre-operational stage. That means object permanence is there. It starts naming each and every object. It gets the idea of each and every object by naming them. Just like a pen, it is called a pen, it is called a gas lighter, it is called a lighter, it is called a pen, it is called a book, it is called an apple. So it actually starts using words or sounds to represent objects or entities. That means it starts using symbols to represent objects or entities. That's what a child does during this stage. The name of this stage is pre-operational stage. But during this stage also, a child doesn't have any idea of the abstract entities or abstract ideas, doesn't have any knowledge of the abstract ideas. Just like God, the idea of God is abstract idea. We cannot perceive God through our five senses, and even we cannot actually define what honesty is all about. Honesty is also an abstract idea. It cannot be perceived through our five senses. So objects that can be perceived through the senses, the children actually start naming those things. They start using symbols to represent each and every objects and entity, but they do not have any knowledge of the abstract entities or abstract ideas during this pre-operational stage, which spans from 2 to 7 years. Now let us talk about the next stage of cognitive development, that is concrete operational stage. Concrete operational stage. This stage spans from 7 to 11 years. I repeat, concrete operational stage. This is the third stage of cognitive development. This stage spans between 7 to 11 years. So this is what actually happens during this stage. That is, the child actually starts naming each and every object. I have already mentioned in the earlier stage, in the pre-operational stage. But during this stage, children can use their schema to explain things, and they start using their knowledge to solve problems. I repeat, children start using their knowledge to solve problems during this stage. They also get the idea of numbers and calculations during this concrete operational stage. That means they have the idea of mathematical calculations, addition, even subtraction, multiplication. So they actually get the idea of numbers. They try to explain things. They use their schema to solve problems. This is what happens during this stage, during this concrete operational stage. But even in this stage also, most of the childs do not have any knowledge of the abstract ideas. They cannot explain abstract ideas. So this is what concrete operational stage is all about. So during this stage, I repeat, children use their schema to solve problems. They use numbers. They have the ideas of numbers. They gather the ideas of multiplication, addition, subtraction, all this mathematical calculation. But they still do not have any knowledge of the abstract ideas. This is what happens during the concrete operational stage. Now let us move on to the next stage, that is formal operational stage. Formal operational stage. This is the last stage of cognitive development. I repeat, formal operational stage. This stage actually continues from 11 years to onward. That means 11 plus years. So this stage actually begins from 11 years and it goes on, it continues. So what happens during this stage is children actually starts solving problems. They not only solve problems but also they get the idea of abstract entities. Even they start explaining things hypothetically. They use hypothetical questions. They go for deductive reasoning. They also have the knowledge of abstract ideas during this stage that I have already mentioned. So during this formal operational stage, a child knows what abstract ideas are all about. That means he can explain what God is all about. Although we cannot see God, we cannot perceive God through our five senses. We cannot touch God, we cannot smell God, we cannot see God, but we can actually explain what God is all about. So a child also can explain what God is all about during this stage. That means he has the knowledge of abstract entities or abstract ideas. Even he goes for deductive reasoning. Whatever you will say, he will actually get it. It's not like that. It will start asking you logical questions. That means children will use their mind to ask logical questions. It will not accept everything so easily, because during the earlier stages what happens, sometimes children do not want to eat. Then we say that if you do not eat, tiger will come or a ghost will come. But you cannot tell these things to a child at this stage, at this formal operational stage, because he knows tiger will not come if I do not eat, a ghost will not come. So it will start using its brain to ask logical questions. It will judge everything with logic. Without logic, it will not accept anything. That means it will start using schema to ask logical questions, to solve problems, and it will also go for deductive reasoning. And the child will also have the idea or knowledge of abstract entities or abstract ideas. So this is what happens during the formal operational stage. It is the most advanced stage of cognitive development. It starts at the age of 11 and continues till the end. So this is how cognitive development works in case of child's language acquisition. That means I have already explained the four stages of cognitive development of this cognitive theory provided by Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget. The spelling of Jean Piaget is quite complex. Jean. It's not actually Jean, it is actually Jean. It's a French pronunciation. Jean Piaget. Piaget, the spelling of Piaget is Piaget, but the T remains silent. Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget. He actually invented the theory of cognitive theory of language acquisition, and I have already explained the theory, and this theory is not so easy to understand. What happens actually if I provide a child, suppose a child who is at the age of 5, if I provide the child with some boxes of different shapes like rectangle, triangle, circle, and I give the children the same objects, the objects of similar shape or size, then I order the child or the children to put those objects into the right box. Then what the child will do, the intellectual children, I mean the children who are actually more intelligent, they will put the right object inside the right box. They will put the circle inside the circle, the triangle inside the triangle, the rectangle inside the rectangle. But the children who are not so intelligent, they will actually get confused, because it will see that a circle is easily it can be easily put inside the rectangle or box of triangle shape. So it will put triangle inside rectangle, or sorry, it will put the circle inside the rectangle or inside the triangle, because it can be easily put inside those boxes. But more intellectual children will put the right object inside the right box, right shape of box. So this is what happens. This is actually the experiments was done by many researchers during this level. They actually found this kind of result, that intellectual children put the right shape of object inside the right box, but children who are not so advanced in terms of intellect or in terms of knowledge, they actually get confused. So this is what happens. So this is how these stages of cognitive development works. The 4 basic stages of cognitive development are sensory motor. During this stage, children use their senses to perceive everything. This stage prevails from 0 to 2 years. The next stage is pre-operational stage. This stage spans between 2 to 7 years. What happens during this stage is children do not have any knowledge of abstract ideas, but they actually get the ideas of different objects, different entities. They start naming those objects and entities. They use symbols, they use words or phrases or sounds to express different objects or entities, or identify different objects or entities, but they do not have any knowledge of abstract ideas or entities during this stage. And then comes the concrete operational stage. During this stage actually spans between 7 to 11 years, but during this stage children do not have any knowledge of abstract idea also. What they do is they try to explain things. They use their brain to explain everything, and they get the idea of mathematical calculation as well. They get the idea of numbers, multiplication, addition, subtraction, division, all these things, but they actually cannot explain abstract ideas. But the last stage, formal operational stage, which begins at the age of 11 and continues till the end. During this stage, children actually can explain what abstract idea is all about. They can explain abstract ideas. They use their brain to solve problems. They go for deductive reasoning, and they even can ask hypothetical questions. They go for logical questions, and they always use their brain to solve problems. And you cannot actually say anything illogical to a child during this stage, because it will not accept everything so easily. It will start asking logical questions. This is what happens during this stage. Child always uses his logic to explain everything. So this is how the stages of cognitive development works. So I hope I have finished my discussion on cognitive theory of language acquisition. Now what you will have to do, you have to read about this theory and try to understand what the theory actually talks about. I have already explained the theory, and if you have got any question regarding cognitive theory, you can ask me. You can ask me by texting me through the inbox of my page, Manju's English Solutions. Even you can contact me through my contact number that is also given on my page, and this is how you can contact me. Any problem, not only in case of this theory, but also if you feel any problem in ELT, linguistics, English grammar, English language, then you can contact me. I will try my level best to solve those problems. And I have also a YouTube channel with the same title, Monju's English Solutions. You can visit my channel. You will find a lot of topics of discussion. My live session, the recorded live sessions of my page are already uploaded on that YouTube channel. So today's live session will also be uploaded on my YouTube channel as well. So you can visit my YouTube channel and you will find a lot of topics there, a lot of topics that I have already discussed in different live sessions. You will find those on my YouTube channel. I hope you will find those live sessions quite handy for all of you. So that's all for tonight. I'm not going to prolong my speech, but I think we are not in good condition right now because Bangladesh is going through a lot of problems, like, you know, Corona has broken out once again. Corona, dengue, chikungunya, this type of diseases have already broken out once again, and people are being affected. So be careful, take remedial action, use mask when you go outside, use mask, and be conscious and cautious about your health, and take good care of yourself, take good protection so that you don't get affected by these diseases. And I hope you will get rid of all these things and you will lead a very healthy life. And war is going on. Iran-Israel war is also going on in the world. War, actually, Plato said that only the dead have seen the end of wars. War is going on all around the world. So only the dead people have been relieved from seeing any more war. But we, the living people, we don't know how many wars we will have to see during our lifespan. So anyway, but before I finish, I would like to say that it is only in the change of hearts where all wars can be won. You cannot win war with weapons, but you can win war by winning the hearts of people, by love. So anyway, that's all for tonight. In my next live session, I'll come back with another new topic. But you know, previously I used to conduct live sessions on each and every Friday, but during because of my busy schedule, I actually have decided to conduct live session once in a month, because I cannot actually give time properly, as I'm a very busy man, because I have some other works to do, and that's why I don't find enough time, or I cannot manage time for live sessions each and every Friday. And at the same time, I have to give my family some time. So that's why I have decided to conduct live session on once or twice a month, and I will inform you before each and every live session. Keep in touch with my page. I will inform you about the next live session. Till then, it's goodbye from here. Good night. And if you have any suggestion in which topic I can conduct the live session for the next live session, which topic should be selected, it's up to you. If you have got any suggestion, you can actually share with me, contact with me, and I'll try to conduct the live session accordingly. But if I do not get any suggestion, I will decide myself which topic actually I will discuss in my next live session. But if you have got any suggestion, any queries, you can actually ask me. So that's all. Thank you. Good night. Tata. Take care.